Kennedy on this Thursday morning. It's almost the weekend, and this weekend will be the final chance for a group of health students to grow in the southwest. This year is the final year of the Grow Rural Southwest Queensland cohort, with activities, I suppose you could say, for a very long weekend, kicking off tonight. Grow Rural is a 3-year rural immersion program which shows first-year medical, nursing, midwifery and allied health students, gives them the opportunity to find out what it's like to work and live in rural Queensland. Chris Mitchell is the CEO of Health Workforce Queensland, or the organisation behind Grow Rural. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Danny.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning to find out a bit about this. A lot of people probably haven't heard much about Grow Rural. How did Grow Rural come about?
Yeah, it came about from an initiative inside the team at Health Workforce Queensland, and it was a creative idea that we first started in Central Queensland. So essentially, it's the students have placements, clinical placements. We saw there was a gap that the students didn't really get to know the community, and some were worried, scared, uncertain to travel to rural communities for their placement. So this is a way of saying, come and connect at community level. It's not a clinical placement. There's no homework. And we've found that if we do that once a year, same group of multidisciplinary students, and then go 3 years in a row, there's a connection that's built with the community. And they get to know actually what it's firsthand, really, what it's like to work and live in the bush, and that it's not so scary.
And why did you pick like a 3-year term for this?
Yeah, we did some other programs that were just single days with skills development, and we thought actually it needs a longer term. And in consultation with the communities in Central Queensland, we thought actually if you're a first-year student through your courses and you have this extra opportunity each year, it made sense. It actually makes sense more to us now because we've thought, well, this is a rural immersion program that we've designed. The real point of this is we want you to work in the bush. So it actually joins your first year, second year, third year of your course, if you've got a 3-year course, and then actually what are the opportunities? You can do your clinical placement there, and then what's the employment opportunities in that region.
And you mentioned you've started in Central Queensland, and this one, of course, is in Charleville. What made you pick Charleville?
Yeah, so Charleville's very important, Southwest particularly. If you come from the health needs are high. Attracting and retaining health workforce across both public and private and non-government sectors has been difficult, and has probably more so in the last few years. We also have the advent of the creation of the Southern Queensland Rural Health, which is University Department of Rural Health, which covers from Toowoomba through into Charleville and has outreach in Charleville. Really important to us, and of course Quadsitch as well, with the Aboriginal Community Controlled Health Service, which we've been colleagues with for years. We're thinking this is an important way for Grow Local, but also students who are from elsewhere to come and say, hey, actually, I could work here. So the importance is there's a need there, there's eager parties there, and I think the University Department of Rural Health that was created, I think that's actually given it another a hub to work around, and they're our program partners for this program.
And by the looks of it, this program, I don't really say finishes, but it certainly wraps up this weekend, and it's pretty much a 4-day weekend or more by the looks of it.
Yeah.
What is planned?
So we had a bit of make-up time. We had a bit of a cancellation last year through COVID, so that was disappointing. So the program's interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, so we have a number of medical, nursing, midwifery and allied health students. So there's a lot planned actually. They've got a busy time ahead. The program for this year, as you said, is extra long. We're basing around Charleville, and the theme is cosmology. So that goes with Charleville, doesn't it? So we're also participating in Indigenous art and storytelling workshops with the local Indigenous artist there, Alara Jibang. So there's the students thrive and want to find out more about the cultural context in which they're working, and they know that it's very important. So that will be good. They'll have a deeper understanding of the Indigenous astronomy and how these knowledges are passed down, and also visiting the Cosmos Centre to experience the astronomy there from a Western perspective and get an idea that there's more than one way to understand what's going on in front of them or above them. We always have a lot of clinical sessions, so and they're multidisciplinary, so we might be doing suturing. So the physiotherapist mightn't think that she would be doing suturing, but there you go. But it's important because multidisciplinary understanding the other professions is important. We've got a aeromedical retrieval scenario, and the scenario is really important. We've really they're very important learning exercises too for all of us, and that's going to be facilitated at Charleville RFDS with local health professionals. Local high school students are joining us for breakfast as well. That's really important. So the local high school students say, actually, yeah, I can do this too. So this is possible. We've got looking forward to a really nice welcome to country at Charleville from the Cottage team, and we've got the yarning circle there. They'll learn about bush tucker and meet the health workers there. The other aspect of this, which is a bit different, but we bill the students out with community members, so they stay overnight with a community member, and I think that's really good. So they get a real feel for the community, for farm life, for animals, local industry, the whole bit. So that's really important. And the other one, of course, there's a community-led event such as the mental health wellness with Wayne and Shane at dinner tonight.
So it is quite packed. Now, Chris, I'm speaking with Chris Mitchell, the CEO of Health Workforce, who are behind the Grow Rural program, currently, I suppose, wrapping up in Charleville. We've talked about why Grow Rural is so important. The success rate, I know it's only been going for 4 or 5 years, but what sort of success rate do you feel you've achieved in the time the program's been going?
Yeah, so we've got a stat that shows us from this year's survey. We do a longitudinal tracking of the students each second year, and at this stage we've got a 66.7% of students who've graduated from that and graduated from the university career are still in rural and remote. This longitudinal study, tracking study, will go on for some time, and whilst that sounds really good, we've actually found there's something else happens too, and this is a community contact. So individuals will go back to the community for their clinical placement, and they choose to do that. We've seen a couple go back to the community in Central Queensland specifically, and then 2 or 3 of those health professionals actually went there and then bounced up into far North Queensland and one into North Queensland, and they're working there now. So it's taking away any fear or anxieties, and it's also showing you can do this and you can move around. In this case, what we're trying to do now, as I said before, we're trying to link these lining up with jobs, local jobs. Actually, I could work with that organisation, and that could be their career. So we haven't got to that stage yet with the program, but it's very successful and highly sought after. In the larger programs, we can fit 25 students, and we will have anything up to 150 to 160 applicants for those slots. So it's well sought after, and remember the students they've got a life, right? And they've also got all their clinical placements and all their studies. So they're actually, this is extra to them, and well sought. It's a good opportunity for them.
Chris Mitchell, it sounds like the future of Grow is pretty rosy. The program's looking good for the future. Thanks for joining us this morning, and all the best. We look forward to finding out where next year's 3U program kicks off.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. I look forward to that. Bye now.
Thank you. Chris Mitchell there. He's the CEO of Health Workforce, the organisation behind Grow Rural, and of course Grow Rural HWQ, wrapping up in Charleville this weekend. 7 to 7, very shortly we'll find